I handle 1 through 5 and you handle 6 through 10. Right. I don't even want us to have the same responsibilities.
Right.
Like, I don't want to say, I go half on the rent, you go half on the rent. I go half on washing dishes, you go half on washing dishes. I go half on grocery shopping, you go.
Right.
Why? Because at that point, I feel like, for like a better word, we spreading ourselves too thin. Mm-hmm. If it's 10 things to do in a relationship, why would I halfway through 1 through 10 and you halfway through 1 through 10? Right. Instead, I should master 1 through 5 and let you master 6 through 10. We know that all wives like love your husband if you made this commitment, but love, depending on the person, might be expressed, for like a better word, wrong. If your girl love you, she like, damn, I want you to eat, I want to cook for you.
Right.
But if she don't know no better, she'll cook fried chicken, potatoes, shit that's not good for you.
But she's doing it out of love.
Out of love. Yeah. But she just don't know better.
Right.
So I put it on her that if I'm going to study in this relationship, the better is, you got to study too. You have to. I'm not going to make you pick what topics to study. What you want to study is on you. But you will have to get studied, begin to study and begin to start to try to master something. She was like, shit, okay, food. So now she learned that not only how to cook, but what to cook. All right, y'all, welcome back to another episode of the Don't Be a Viking podcast. Today, I got a full circle moment. This is my senior. When I was a sophomore, this is my senior, my basketball mentor, goddamn. Introduce yourself by name, age, and relationship status.
Man, my name JP. You know, folks call me JP. 25 years old, newly married. So
yes, sir. Yes,
sir. Enjoying that. Just glad to be on the podcast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just like he said, it's a full circle moment.
Yeah. Now, before because I already got my topics prepared, but I still like to ask here and there if the guests got any recommended topic they would like to go into. If not, don't worry about it. Cause I know I just sprung this on you.
Man, it's wherever you want to go.
Okay, cool.
Wherever you want, however you want to do it.
Now, we're gonna start it with, because I asked my fiance the same thing before we started. She said she'll be interested to hear us talk about what does a 50-50 relationship look like. Now, before I give my take on it, say what you think your ideal 50-50 would be like.
All right. Well, first when I think 50-50, I think it more so like before it manifests to the physical, I think it more so from a mindset perspective, like what you think 50-50 look like.
Okay.
So you got to have that type of communication with your spouse or whoever you're dealing with. What does 50-50 actually look like to the both of us?
Yeah.
Because some people think 50-50 is just physical assets like house, car, clothes, but 50-50 could also be other responsibilities outside of just physical things. You know what I'm saying? So I think 50-50, from my perspective and how I look at it, I don't think it's no one size fit all. I think it's based on the relationship.
Okay.
And, because like, for example, let's look at it from a financial standpoint. One man might make $100,000 versus a man that make $50,000. Right. So of course they 50-50 gonna look different. His 50-50 might actually be 80-20.
Yeah. Because
he can provide more.
Yeah.
And then in some situations, the woman may make more than the man. So that may look different. So I think it's based on the relationship and the people who involved in it or whatnot.
Okay. I'll say what I'm striving for our 50-50 relationship to look like is I handle 1 through 5 and you handle 6 through 10. Right. I don't even want us to have the same responsibilities.
Right.
Like, I don't want to say, I go half on the rent, you go half on the rent. I go half on washing dishes, you go half on washing dishes. I go half on grocery shopping, you go.
Right.
Why? Because at that point, I feel like, for like a better word, we spreading ourselves too thin. Mm-hmm. If it's 10 things to do in a relationship, why would I halfway through 1 through 10 and you halfway through 1 through 10? Right. Instead, I should master 1 through 5 and let you master 6 through 10. If I need help on 1 through 5, I'll communicate that with you. Hey, babe, can you help me out with this? Or if you need help, hey, can you help me out with this? Cool.
Right, being flexible.
Exactly. Yeah. But we still know I'm responsible for 1 through 5. And you responsible for 6 to 10. Like, I do a lot of learning and researching and reading and studying, but I do it on certain topics. A lot of the topics I do it on is like finances, credit, things surrounding creating a better podcast and creating an environment around knowledge that I can build with brothers and sisters. Like, I just got done reading about different attacks on the black man, black masculinity, how we got oppressed. She not interested in it.
Right.
She interested in learning cooking stuff.
Right.
Yeah, so we know that all wives like love your husband if you made this commitment, but love depending on the person might be expressed for like a better word wrong. If your girl love you, she like, damn, I want you to eat, I want to cook for you.
Right.
But if she don't know no better, she'll cook fried chicken, potatoes, shit that's not good for you.
But she's doing it out of love.
Out of love. Yeah. But she just don't know better.
Right.
So I put it on her that if I'm gonna study in this relationship, the better is you gotta study too. You have to. I'm not gonna make you pick what topics to study. What you want to study is on you. But you will have to get studied, begin to study and begin to start to try to master something. She was like, shit, okay, food. So now she learned that not only how to cook, but what to cook.
Yeah.
Because a lot of black women know how to cook. That ain't the problem.
Right.
What to cook is the bad part. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Facts.
So I feel like that's my ideal 50-50. I'm going to take care of whatever responsibilities we agree on for me to take care of.
Yeah.
But you take care of some completely different stuff. I'm not studying cooking.
Right.
That's not where my mind is right now. Why would I need to study that if you already doing it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I agree with that. I'm the same way when it comes to 50-50. Like, we shouldn't be doing the same thing. Like, for example, like I'm big into researching books and stuff, but my wife, she might not want to read. Not saying that she don't do those things, but she might not want to research the topics that I research. So another thing is too is like, I would say, like you said, like morals make the relationship. How do we view our relationship morally?
Yeah.
So like you said, your wife can know how to cook, but if she's not cooking the right stuff for you, is they really even cooking for you?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Who are you cooking for? So yeah, I definitely agree when it's coming to 50-50, you know, let me handle 1 through 5, you handle 6 through 10, because time is the essence. You know what I'm saying? If we doing the same thing, we wasting time. If you washing the dishes and I'm washing the dishes, then who doing this?
Bro,
you know what I'm saying?
I used the example before. We know in school, if you get a 100, if you get a 0, you fried. Like, this will drop you tremendously.
Right.
So I was like, if it's a certain amount of things to accomplish in a relationship, if you trying to focus on the same things I'm focusing on, in one category or the other, somebody not putting their focus there, we getting a 0 there.
Right.
So eventually this will catch up to us and bite us in the butt. Right now, we probably don't feel the pressure of it.
Right.
5 years later, we gonna feel the pressure of somebody been putting 0 effort in this category.
Right.
So I'm like, why put ourselves through that strain? If I say I trust you and you say you trust me to handle 1 through 5 without you.
Right.
And I'm gonna trust you to handle 6 through 10 without me.
Right.
So
yeah, 50-50 definitely come with trust too. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Thanks.
It ain't if you don't trust the person to get something done, then that's not really 50-50. You still kind of sort of got your hands in that area, whatever they messing with. Like, for example, if I tell my wife to do this, I'm not even just about to be, you doing this. By the time I'm already knowing it's taken care of.
Yeah.
Now, there's nothing wrong with just checking in, but I think we adults, like, you know, you got responsibility that you held accountable for, you know, to get them, you know, you would get them done.
Yeah, you would think, man, there's so many adults who so damn lazy, all type of attributes. Like, I'm gonna use this example, and I'm not calling bruh lazy, but this situation I was just talking to my homie about yesterday. Right now, he in a tough situation.
Right.
He trying to get a job. He feel like they not hitting him back as urgently as like he would want them to, because he got stuff he trying to handle.
Right.
And in the midst of that, he fighting with his baby mama on custody of his first child.
Yeah.
While his wife now is pregnant.
Right.
So
yeah.
There's a kid, and money situation. You see how I'm saying? Like, this is a tough situation. Now, I was explaining to him, like, since you in a tough situation, it's time to take heed to wise counsel outside of yourself. Because if we knew best, we'll be living whatever type of life we want to live. Right. Apparently, we need some more knowledge from somebody else who got the answers we don't have.
Right.
Cool. So I threw out a couple suggestions for him, like check these people out. And on one hand, he'll like try to find some interest in it. But on the other hand, he like, but that ain't for me. That's my thought process on it. You not wise enough to pick what's not for you.
Right.
You've been picking your whole life.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you was wise enough to make your own decisions,
you would have been doing it.
You would have been doing it.
Right.
Now, some people will take that wrong and say, but I'm grown as man, I'm grown as woman. You can't tell me what's right or wrong.
Right.
Your own actions bearing witness to what's right or wrong. You see what I'm saying? So this is my thought process on it. We are barely wise enough to do anything on our own. Right. I say you have to pick good counsel for every decision of your life. I don't care if it's picking a partner. I don't care if it's what foods to eat. You don't know what foods to eat. We just got done talking about our wife love us, but that don't mean she know what to cook.
And that's another topic too. Like especially in the Black community, when it comes to food, because like being a former athlete and stuff, you naturally taking care of your body. Right. You working out, you drinking more water than the average person. You eating your
How you doing, sister?
You know what I'm saying? You eat. How you doing?
Hold on, y'all. Give us 1 second. Let me bring the other sister in. I'm gonna add a chair, add a mic. Now, I don't want to stop what you were saying because you own something. So go ahead, keep talking. Y'all just don't think I'm blowing him off or something, goddamn, by walking off. Keep talking, I hear you.
So, so like you naturally you eating the fruits, you doing more stuff than the average person, and then kind of as I grew in more knowledge with that athletic background, I started to see like a lot of the foods and stuff we eat really ain't beneficial to our health. So like when you read certain stuff, like the ingredients of certain stuff, or especially like a lot of stuff contains sugar. And in the Black community, you see a lot of people struggle with like diabetes and stuff like that, but we not making no food swaps. We're not changing our diet out. So we saying, we going to the doctor thinking like this is just a genetic problem or it's hereditary or it's passed down, but really it's our food choices. So a lot of people, when they get a spouse or get married, they just, the food look good, or, I can't wait to eat, but like, what are you eating? Is your wife killing you? You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be, right, she cooking good, but is this food, is it killing you? You probably was better off before you got married, you know what I'm saying? You probably was more healthier before you even got in a relationship. So it's like, knowledge is essential, bro. And, I tell people, you gotta realize that you don't know everything. You gotta pick the books up. You gotta study. You gotta, seek out the knowledge and whatnot. So
I want to touch what JP was just saying. I'm going to only touch it and not go deep into it because I'm going to get into this topic. But he brought up a good point on a lot of stuff not hereditary. When folks say that, they just mean they got a lack of knowledge. Right. Most things are not hereditary. Now, some stuff can get passed on. Stuff that's you won't even think biological. Like, let's say fear or trauma. You won't necessarily think that's a biological trait. You would think that's a psychological trait. But, I'm trying not to go into it because this is going to take us to a different topic. Right. Yeah, just study something called epigenetics. Epi, the prefix EPI, mean on top of. Genetics, you know what a gene is, your genetic makeup. So some call epigenetics through your parents' experiences in life. They can develop an epigenetic gene, for lack of a better word, on top of their genes they already had. So if I see Massa whoop my mama ass all her life, or if I didn't even see it, if Massa just whooped my mama ass all her life, she now developed a condition mentally that make her react a certain way to Massa or people that resemble Massa. You won't necessarily think that, damn, she can really pass that on to a kid. You would think she'll pass it on like by just teaching her kid them same habits. No, even if mama die, before the kid grow up. The kid already had traits instilled in themselves. I'm gonna stop right there because I'm gonna keep going into it. Study something called epigenetics, and then like that'll tie in back into what JP was saying. Bro, this shit not hereditary. You got badass habits. Your mama got badass habits. You picked up on her badass habits. Now you got the same goddamn disease that your mama got, and you blame it on genetics. No, your dumb ass repeated the same dumb ass actions that she did. Now, I'm not necessarily calling her dumb ass for doing it first. You a dumbass for coming behind her, seeing the negative effects it had on her and y'all family, and repeating the same dumbass stuff.
That's you going to a good topic.
All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all tapping into this episode of the Don't Be a Viking podcast with me and my boy JP. We're going to wrap this up right here, talk about 50-50 relationships. And as y'all can see towards the end, our other sister just joined us in the conversation. Boy, we finna have some great conversations with me, JP, and the sister Salil. But if y'all like what y'all heard, y'all want to see more, y'all enjoy it, like, comment, subscribe, come back to episode 2. I'll let y'all.